Here's one for your Harry Potter bingo card, folks. We have huge breaking news. Rupert Grint is coming back as Ron Weasley in The Cursed Child on Broadway next year, following in the footsteps of Tom Felton's Draco Malfoy. Unfortunately, the pair won't share the stage together, as Felton's run ends on January the 3rd, whilst Grint doesn't start until 2nd of February, beginning a run of 17 weeks. And you just know those tickets will sell out in a flash. Potter fans all over the world will be fighting over the chance to see Ron Weasley again. But maybe, just maybe, they could play nice and convince Tom Felton to stick around just a little longer, as having both the original Ron and Draco in the same production at the same time would be insane. And Tom's return as Malfoy was huge news, but at the same time it wasn't exactly earth-shattering, as since Deathly Hallows Part 2 he has stayed close to the franchise, and he was always appreciative of what Draco gave him. And I remember he hosted the Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore world premiere, and here's a cool story for you. My wife actually met him outside the venue. She asked for a quick photo, but he was running late. And if he stopped for one photo, it would attract the crowd. He'd be there all day. But anyways, Rupert, on the other hand, has somewhat distanced himself from the franchise. Maybe not as much as Dan and Emma have. And if I were to put money on it, I always felt Rupert was the one of the three most likely to return. And as expected, the keyboard warriors are having a go at him online for selling out. Basically, if you have anything to do with one of the biggest and most lucrative franchises in the world in 2026, you are siding with the devil. But anyways, here's what Rupert had to say about his return as Ron. Ron Weasley has been a part of me since I was 11 years old, and I can't wait to meet him again in this stage of his life. There is something so full circle and so special about stepping back into Ron's shoes now that we're both fathers. It's somewhat both very familiar and completely new, and the joy of being back on Broadway, this time in a role that defines so much of my life, is truly exciting. The first time I saw The Cursed Child on stage, I was blown away, and I can't wait to step back on platform 9 3/4 and pick up where I left off. I am overjoyed to join the exceptional cast and crew at the Lyric Theatre this winter. Honestly guys, this one hits hard. Harry Potter was a massive part of my childhood. I grew up alongside Harry, Ron and Hermione, like many of you guys did. But don't get me wrong, I am not a fan of the Cursed Child story. Voldemort having a kid and the lore-breaking time turner is just dumb. But in my heart of hearts, I have been hoping for something like this. Perhaps Rupert did have an itch that needed to be scratched. Maybe he needed another paycheck. But no matter what his motives are, I am happy for him and for the fans. I just hope he's ready for all the crazy folk online who will have something to say. If you go back a few years, there was talk that Warner Brothers were trying to get a Harry Potter sequel off the ground, with Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint and Emma Watson. Whether that was The Cursed Child or something new entirely. And at one point, Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets director Chris Columbus was interested in getting the old team back together. Not now, but I am sure there will be some members of the cast that will be more than happy to put their robes back on. But the issues always lied with the Golden Trio. And if you're going to do the movie continuity, you can't recast them. No matter how much you might hate their views and what they've had to say, they are Harry, Ron and Hermione when it comes to the films. And with them, a Harry Potter sequel, in my opinion, would easily cross the 2 billion mark at the box office. And as I said, I always felt Rupert was the most likely out of the three to come back. I even recall him saying he would think about it if the other two were on board. But there's not a snowball's chance in hell Dan and Emma will come back. Daniel Radcliffe is more interested in doing his own thing, and I respect him for that. And honestly, we could only imagine what being the world's most famous child felt like. And it seems like Emma is also finished with the franchise. She's not made a film in over 7 years now, so acting might not be a priority for her anymore. Both seem happy in their lives. They don't need to come back. Well, that's because they have unfinished business, want to relive the glory days, or just need a big paycheck. They did return for the 20th anniversary special, and to me that felt like their closure. That was them coming back and saying goodbye. They love the Wizarding World and all it gave them, but I understand why they are done and don't feel the need to return, even if Warner Brothers offered them some ridiculous amount of money. And it would be something ridiculous. And of course, there's the whole J.K. Rowling drama. All three have been vocal against the woman that created the world that gave them the millions. More so Dan and Emma, and I think it is a clear obstacle. But at the same time, I feel Rowling has always wanted The Cursed Child to remain exclusively as a play. And as we all know now, Warner Brothers are putting all their focus into their new Harry Potter TV show. So any chance of a Cursed Child film or another 8th story is dead. Which might be for the best, as I've always said the story feels very disconnected from the original work. It honestly feels like fan fiction that breaks so many rules that the books clearly established. Let the play be its own thing, and if some of the actors from the films want to show up from time to time, more power to them. But guys, let me know your thoughts on Rupert Grint's return as Ron in The Cursed Child. Personally, I've always felt the films done Ron pretty dirty. They took away some of his best moments and gave a few of them to Hermione, such as remaining calm during the Devil's Stare scene, defending Harry from Sirius Black, and sticking up for Hermione when Snape insults her, rather than saying that he had a point. But at the same time, I felt Rupert was brilliant in the first two, probably the best out of the three, but from then on he was forced solely into the comedic relief role. It's almost like the filmmakers felt he was the weakest of the three when it came to the more serious scenes, or just didn't know what to do with him. And one scene that really bugs me is at the end of Half-Blood Prince when Harry and Hermione are having a moment, going over the fake locket, planning their next move, all whilst Ron sits awkwardly in the background. Maybe Rupert was unavailable that day, I don't know. It might seem like a minor complaint, but it stood out so much for me. Honestly guys, Half-Blood Prince is a pretty bad film and a terrible adaptation, but that's another video for another day. Let's just hope Ron gets a little more love in the new series. And remember, it's more than likely they will drop a new trailer on September the 1st at the Back to Hogwarts event, and that might be the perfect time to give us the first look of Rupert Grint as adult Ron from The Cursed Child. Alongside the new trailer for the show, and first look at characters we have yet to see, such as Quirrell, maybe the House Ghosts, Filch and so on, I'm expecting casting news for Season 2, The Chamber of Secrets, on September the 1st. With Arthur Weasley, the new recast Ginny, the voice of Dobby, and young Tom Riddle being top bill. I still feel they keep Voldemort a secret until the episodes, but they may fork out for a big name actor, and I'm surprised it hasn't leaked yet. I also think they might wheel out Kit Harington to discuss his role as Gilderoy Lockhart. Yeah, in case you missed that, they have recast Lockhart, and I've got a video on that. But personally, I would love something on Hogwarts Legacy 2, but I feel they'll save that for one of the major gaming conventions. But no matter what, it's going to be a big week for the franchise, relating to both the new show and the series as a whole. Whatever they drop, I'll be here to break it down for you guys, so make sure you subscribe for more Harry Potter and Wizarding World news. Fantastic Beasts was a massive part of this channel, and I want that to continue. Lots more videos to come. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.